Okay, good morning. Good evening. Call to order. Eva Beach Board meeting, August 13th, 6:30 p.m. Not 7. We changed it to 6:30, bright and early. We're going to start off with reading of rules of speaking. John, go ahead.
Aloha. This is your community public forum. Your input and cooperation are really appreciated. The Eva Neighborhood Board is an advisory board, and we provide fairness, integrity, and collaboration to all to increase and ensure effective citizen participation in decisions of government. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise their hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 2 minutes, one turn per person. Those giving reports are urged to keep their reports less than 2 minutes and presentations under 10 minutes. Please silence your electronic devices. Video teleconference. The board will be making a good faith effort to provide the public with the opportunity to observe the meeting as it happens and an opportunity to provide oral testimony without a physical presence in the physical meeting room. Please ensure that your computer or phone is muted unless you are speaking. Note, the board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state Sunshine Law HRS 92. Specific issues not noted on the agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. A 2/3 vote, that's 8 members of the 11-member board, is needed to add an item to the agenda. Items may not be added if they are of major importance and will affect a significant number of people. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, we're going to start with the introduction of board members. We're going to start with Mike Plowman online. Go ahead, Mike.
How's it, Mike Plowman?
Thanks, Mike. Okay, to my right, go ahead, Shane.
Good evening, everybody. Shane Greenland.
Hi, John Rogers.
Aloha, Susan Gorman Chang.
Aloha, Dave Morris.
Aloha, Aisha Prestera.
Aloha, Charmaine Valerio.
And aloha, Mitchell Tananes. Okay, moving on. Public safety, first responders. Honolulu Fire Department.
Okay, aloha, Captain Costello, Engine 24, Eva Beach Fire Station. Our statistics for July, these are statistics for July of 2026. We had 0 structure fires, 0 brush fires, 3 nuisance fires, 0 cooking fires, and 14 activated alarms. For emergencies, we had a total of 166 medicals, 2 motor vehicle collisions with a pedestrian, 1 motor vehicle collision crash, 0 mountain rescues, 0 ocean rescues, and 0 hazmat incidents. For nuisance fires, it includes rubbish fires outside of a structure or vehicle. So our fire safety tip for the month is emergency notifications and resources. Understanding how you'll be alerted during urgent emergencies and knowing where to find accurate official information is a key part of being prepared. Learn more at honolulu.gov/DEM/stay-informed. And then the 2 alert methods are opt-in alerts. These notify individuals who have signed up to receive alerts via text, email, or app push notifications based on user preferences. Alerts are not sent based on location. 1, system includes HNL alert and official government social media. 2, sign up at hnlalert.gov to receive notifications. 3, alert may be shared by official city, state, and trusted partner accounts. Second, we have the public alert and warning systems. These systems deliver urgent, life-saving information during immediate threats to public safety. In Hawaii, this includes 1, emergency alert system, EAS, 2, wireless emergency alerts, WEA, and 3, outdoor warning sirens depending on the emergency. 1 or more of these systems may be activated. And that's all we have. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions for the board? Any questions, in-person community? Online? I just get one real
Yes.
quick. If you had personally, being that you're in Ewa Beach and stuff like that, one safety tip for Ewa Beach families that we don't know about, what would it be?
For your home regarding fires,
Yes.
a lot of homeowners don't regularly check their fire alarm. There's smoke detectors in their house, so we recommend you change it every 6 months. A lot of times when we go into homes just for medicals, you hear the alert chirping. So I think if we're more cognizant about changing our batteries, it also makes our families less immune to that noise. And we want to make sure, especially with the kids, that when they hear that alarm, they go and see what's happening. But
Thank you, and thank you for all what you guys do for us in our community. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Stay safe out there.
Can I
take
ask
care.
one?
Oh,
Aloha.
sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I noticed a couple of your firefighters over there have bands over their badges.
We recently had a firefighter that passed. So it's just to honor the late firefighter.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you. Moving on to Honolulu Police Department.
Hi, good evening. Corporal Corey Makino, District 8 Community Policing Team. Online with me is also Sergeant Fumi Moroka. The crime statistics in the Ewa Beach area for the month of July. Motor vehicle thefts for our district, we had 22. In the Ewa area, we had 5. Burglaries for our district was 11. Ewa had 1. Thefts for our district was 109 for our district, and Ewa had 18. Unauthorized entry to motor vehicles, 20 in the district, Ewa had 4. Traffic citations, speeding 63. Moving violations 1,190. Parking violations is 273. Total citations issued in the Ewa Beach area was 1,633. Total calls for service in our district was 8,758. Total calls in the Ewa Beach area was 2,743. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Any questions for the board?
Sure.
Okay, John, go ahead.
So, hello. This is more of a process question, and it's regarding the Act 259. I think. Let me make sure I got 259. It's the new e-bike bicycle law that actually updated all the definitions in 291C. And I'm just wondering how Honolulu Police Department, whether first of all you folks are being trained on all the new requirements. Such as who's allowed in a bike lane and a shared use path, like mopeds and motorcycles aren't allowed in bike lanes and shared use paths anymore. Used to be that mopeds could use a bike lane, and now they're not. And then the whole store, the stores that sell e-bikes, the requirements that they have to go with, and also then how you're going to go about confiscating these e-modes if you see them on the street, and whether you're actually actively working on this, because I'm still seeing, the act has just been in place since the middle of July, but I'm still seeing like every day. As I was coming here, there's 2 e-modes on the Westlock bike path that passed me. I had to pull over to let them go by. And then also recently I had a friend of a friend was on the Pearl Harbor, no, she lives in Westlock Estates, and she was on the Westlock bike path in between Westlock Estates and Fairways, and she was actually run over by a motorcycle, moped motorcycle kind of thing, and she moved out of the way, broke her wrist, called the police, have a police report, but it was just an incident, and we don't believe anything's going to really come of it, but they were on the path riding too fast and not, yielding to pedestrians. I mean, at least you yield. But I'm just asking what you folks, how are you going to work with this in the future to make sure we're protected on these bike paths and shared use paths and even bike lanes, because they're in the bike lanes now too. Thanks.
Yeah, I can respond to that. Sergeant Morocco with Community Policing. We've been working with our traffic division. We're looking at the new Act 259, and we're going to come out with a new flyer. We're reviewing all the changes in the law, and we should be coming out with a new flyer soon. And we're going to continue to do education at the schools and public events. And we'll also be doing some more enforcement ops coming up. We did several last year that was successful, and made some arrests and gave citations. So I think it made a difference. You know, the people saw that we're doing enforcement and making arrests. So we're going to continue to do that. And if you look at the HPD, HonoluluPD.org website, the new flyer should be coming out. And like I said, we'll be continuing to do education and enforcement. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Thank you, Sarge. Any other questions for the board? Any questions from the community in person? Online? See none, thank you. Moving on to weed and seed.
I, Corporal Makino, I'll be taking care of the weed and seed for Corporal Roland Pagan, who couldn't make it. For weed and seed, for this month, nothing to report other than the Safer Community Fair, which is scheduled for September 26th. It's gonna be at Pro Ridge Shopping Center. It'll be 10 to 1, sponsored by the U.S. Attorney General's Office and Weed and Seed. It's basically will be the safety information, community fair, open to the public. It will be HPD and other law enforcement agencies will be there as well, holding information booths. But other than that, that's all I have for weed and seed.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? On the in-person community? Online? Seeing none, thank you very much. You guys stay safe out there. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
moving
appreciate it.
on To presentations, Department of Education. Please step up to the mic.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board members. We appreciate time on the agenda as usual. This evening, I'm proud to be able to announce and welcome Principal Christopher Bonilla from Holomua Elementary School. He has spent time at all three levels in the ʻEwa Campbell Complex area, counselor at Campbell High School, principal at Elima Intermediate, and now principal at Holomua Elementary, our only multi-track school in the entire state. Award-winning this past year, he represented Campbell Kapolei at the Masayuki Tokioka Public Schools of Hawaii Foundation Awards and represented us with great pride and was a finalist. So Principal Bonilla from Holomua was a few things to share about Holomua, and then we'll stick around for questions for Holomua or our Campbell Kapolei schools.
Thank you, Casley. Good evening, board and the community. Chris Bonilla, proud principal of Holomua Elementary School, here this evening to raise awareness and ask for support in light of the ongoing traffic safety concerns in front of the school, specifically on Keonui Drive. We're familiar with the tough guards, the bollards that were placed on the median, but we continue to experience issues with parents, the community making illegal left turns out of the Holomua parking lot. And what makes that possible is that there's a gap specifically between these two bollards that there's a speed hump. And we're wondering why there isn't any medians along that speed hump, because if you were to add one or a couple, then that would obviously prevent drivers from making the illegal left turn. If you could get some awareness and increase support of that. The second traffic safety concern deals with the adjacent side of the school, which is Laupai Street. We have a side gate where the special ed bus picks up our students and drops them back home. The bus is constantly being blocked by vehicles. The bus either has a problem getting into the parking area or sometimes leaving. And so we go out there, our custodians are out there, administrators go out there and try to work with the community and with our parents, but it's tough. we have meetings and sometimes we hear it on our walkies and we're wondering what else can we do? And so thankful that Complex Area Superintendent, Mr. Lee said this is a great venue to raise the concern. So hence the presentation this morning. So this evening. So I just wanted to raise that attention and request for some support there. Thank you very much for your time.
Any questions from the board?
Sure. Oh,
John, go ahead.
thank you. Have you folks considered a walking school bus to alleviate maybe some of the drivers? Because because most of those people are all coming from that neighborhood or West Locks, right? And there's a great, I mean, that wide sidewalk goes all the way to the Leeward Bikeway or the West Lock bike path. And if you could get parents to drive into a Sing Park, drop off their kids, and it's a mile walk to school, or it's a mile ride to the school on a big wide, 10, 12-foot sidewalk all the way there. Of course, there's streets you got to cross, and there's going to have to be adult supervision for the young ones. But a lot of communities on the continent and other places are using these walking school buses, and I guess I'm just frustrated, and because we've tried this in the past with the schools and getting the DOE, Department of Education, to like provide help with that, because it's hard for the parents to do it, and I wish there was more parent involvement, but there are other volunteers that would go if you guys asked for volunteers. Like I would volunteer. I couldn't do it every day, but I could do it some days. And I just think that would alleviate a lot of traffic, and you could probably do it on the other side too. So it's just a thought.
At Holomo, we've had discussions about that particular idea, and the perspective or input we got from different stakeholders is that it wasn't feasible to create these those options that you speak about when it comes to parents and the fact that they have to go work. They're going against traffic, so they got to drive out of Fort Weaver, and who's going to be able to provide these walking groups? If you were to ask about staffing, I mean, we'd have to discuss logistics and contractual bargaining agreements and things like that. So yeah, it's at this time it's not feasible for our school. Just trying to emphasize, you guys, the importance of safety. I know everyone's in a rush, right? We all got to get to where we got to go, but all it takes is one accident. And if you take a look at what I'm describing in front of the school, to me, it's a simple fix. I know there's a lot of steps involved, but coming south along Keanui Drive, our teachers, our parents, one wrong move, and then you get into a car accident. Yeah, and lo and behold, a child gets hurt if they're on their bike or they just so happen to be crossing their street. Because we also have parents who park along Keanui Drive across the school, and they jaywalk across just to get to Holomo instead of getting to the crosswalk. So that's what I'm also worried about as well.
David, you got something?
Yeah, I was just wondering who else have you guys talked to about, especially the medians that you referred to and blocking off that? Is there anybody like Department of Transportation or anybody that you've already had?
We've worked with DTS, Department of Transportation, Representative Julie Reyes-Oda. Yeah, in fact, I want to credit her for helping us come up with those tough guards along Keanui Drive. We work with them.
And she wrote a resolution specifically. We have a resolution under our resolutions that Julie wrote, that is about Holomua and this traffic issue that you're dealing with. So maybe we need to get that back out to the DTS and show them that we still care about it, or maybe we need a new one. But
yes, and Principal Vanilla has worked with HPD also and continue to work with them. So that's why I've been part of the communication. So we appreciate their support. As mentioned, it's a chaotic situation both before and after school. It's not just at Holomo Elementary. If you go by any school in our area at that 8 o'clock hour or when the bell is finished, it is chaotic. And we have thousands of students kind of getting out. At the same time, we have thousands of cars coming in too. So just a little bit of patience is what we're asking for, and cooler heads when people rush and they make kind of bad decisions. And then we've had accidents and we've had tragedies, on our roadways just last school year. We want to make sure that we get through this school year, with minimizing that. So that's why we're asking for awareness and help. Getting people out of their cars is hard. We've worked on carpool kind of situations before, that walking school bus. You'll see cars line up hour and a half before the bell rings at most of our campuses. And people are just waiting there and they're blocking traffic already. So that's line of sight and they're just parked there. I don't know why they don't work or whatnot, but they are there lining up all of our schools basically. So.
Okay, we got Representative Ora on the line. Go ahead, Julie.
Sorry, I'm in Reno at an event. I just got off the bus. I'm in front of the hotel. But I have been working with Principal Varela, and right now where we are about what he was talking about the tough guards or some of the delineators over the books, is that I had contacted the city and the state because it was put on with Safe Routes to School money. And how that works is it's a city street. And so with Safe Routes to School, it was designed by the city, installed by the state. And so we were looking at it as being like a design flaw. And I wasn't going anywhere, so that I went back with the governor's office. And so that's where it is right now, is trying to get help to try to fix what we think is a design flaw, which means that it went up. It's just missing that part, which is over those speed bumps. So just for that section. And I can answer any questions about that if anybody has any questions regarding this and anything regarding the Safe Routes to School for that section. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Online. Kazli, can you talk about maybe the little bit might help, but the land acquisition that the tennis club or was gonna give Holomora 5 acres and stuff like that? Any update on that?
So unfortunately, there has been a delay in the land transfer. Rep. Reyes Ora did ask for an update on that. So I checked in with our superintendent's office, did initially go to the superintendent's office, attorney general's, and it did bounce back, unfortunately, between the attorney general's office and the office of facilities. Anytime you get a land transfer, there are a lot of caveats that have to be considered. So they wanted to make sure that as DOE becomes steward over the land, we can take care of it responsibly and make sure that we're not inheriting any issues or concerns that would be long-term problems. So there's been some back and forth there, but I have been assured that we should be getting an answer soon in terms of if we'll be able to accept that land transfer.
Thank you. Last but not least, any other issues about, we have you up here already.
Yes.
I know Holomo has major issues there, but any other issues in our community that we need to know about in our schools?
Our school year has started, so we always have some delays in kindergarten registration. Kindergarten is required now by law, compulsory ed. Before it was optional, but we always have people who forget the school year has started. So our official enrollment count, the first one is tomorrow already. So hopefully you registered if your child is of school age. So that's a reminder we want to do for all of our elementary schools. We had a question last time about our school and our summer feeding. We did unfortunately lose our school food service supervisor for Leeward. So there's a little bit of delay on the count there, but I should be able to get that. We do have good news on the free lunch. So that will continue for the reduced. So free, of course, is free. Reduced was free last year. That will continue. And also the Alice households. So those families that are in the 300, up to 300 over the poverty rate will qualify for free meals, both breakfast and lunch this year. So we think that will help our struggling families even more.
Go ahead, Corey.
So what percentage of students within the Kapolei Campbell complex now qualify for the free meals for lunch? You happen to know that number?
I don't have the data on that one.
Do we know if it's increased the amount of people that are participating in the free school meals?
The free meals, we do have some different things happening with our meal service now. So they have a couple of things happening. So they have meal options now. So there is a salad or a veggie option. So they have options for that. So that's going to impact. And they're also rolling out something called offer versus serve. Before they would bundle everything and you had to take everything on the tray for it to be reimbursable. They're working more towards choice and the idea that they're trying to increase the school lunch participation. And if people have the choice to choose what they'd like to put on their tray, then, they'll enjoy that and be able to minimize the waste. But it does have to be reimbursable. So they are required to take certain things for it to be reimbursed by the USDA.
No, what I was asking about specifically is I think that before Title I, we had maybe 40% of our students participating at Campbell?
In terms of purchasing lunch?
No, the amount that would qualify for free and reduced lunch. I'm really curious to see, and especially looking at some of the elementary schools, the degree that when we increase the ALICE level, the participation, how many students now are possible to be able to qualify, and what's the gap between how many possibly can qualify to how many don't qualify, and what that gap is. So I don't know if you don't need to have it today. Okay, I know, John, we can follow up on that one later. But I'm really curious to see the effectiveness of this one. And I do want to follow up with one other area too. Where are we at in our area when it comes to the preschools? Do you know how many schools are now offering the public preschools? How many students are participating, and where we're looking to expand? If not this year, next year.
I think all of our elementary schools have some type of preschool, whether it's special education or the EOEL. On the ALICE side, I do want to clarify, just because you qualify for ALICE and the free lunch, that doesn't qualify you for the free and reduced Title I status, though. So that the Hawaii DOE did not change their threshold for that. So that is only free and reduced, not the ALICE households, counting for schools which would qualify for the Title I federal funding. Yeah. Yes.
You know how many students?
Okay, wait, Corey. Wait, no, just wait. Yeah, I already had 3. Any questions from the community? Any questions online? Okay, Corey, one more. Go ahead.
It's just still following up with that one. I just wanted to know how many students in our area are part of the EEOL preschool. Do you know how many classrooms or students are part of that right now?
I would have to check in with
Okay,
your school.
yeah, thank you, John.
So
I just wanted to follow up on that one. Yes. Okay.
I just want to make sure I understand your question so I can get back to you. So the total EOEL enrollment in Campbell Complex. And the lunch.
The participation. Trying to follow up to make sure that these things are working. It'd be great to know how far we're going and how much more we.
Got it.
You gotta talk in your mic. Sorry about that, Corey. You got all that, right, guys? All right. I get one question.
Yes.
I know you brought it to my attention, but you want to bring, it's great to meet our principals, vice principals, and, we got Shane Greenland, we got Chris Bonilla, we got you. I know you, I think you're going to start a program trying to bring out more principals and vice principals. I've seen Lima online now. They have the, Instagram and, introducing the new, their vice principals and who they are and sharing in the community. And can you kind of give us a brief description of what you want to do?
Yes, I'd love just to get, the public to get to know our schools and our school leaders. Messaging is important, and hearing about the great things that are happening. They spend a lot of time. They're up early in the morning, and with the earlier start time, I think, for the meetings and putting us a little bit earlier, that does give that possibility of me bringing some of our principals out on a rotational basis so you get to know them. So that's what I'd like to do, so you can meet them as a person, hear about their beliefs, their experiences, and then some of the things that are happening at each of our schools. I know a lot of attention goes to our secondary schools, rightfully so, because they're high profile, but there's a lot of great things happening at our elementary schools and our middle schools. So I think it's a good opportunity for them to come. You'll still see myself on a regular basis, but hearing from them and getting to interact with the board members and the public, both online and in person, is a great opportunity to, again, share what we do to serve our schools and our communities.
Thank you. David, you got something?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there any specific goals or needs from the community that you are looking at from a complex perspective that maybe your principals are sending up to you, that how the community and the schools can work together better?
They are varied, and we've got some not brand new schools, some schools that are a little bit newer than when you're looking at either Keoni'ula, Holomoa on the newer side. And then we have some schools that are over 100 years old, like ʻEwa Elementary. Most of them do have a lot of facility needs, even the newer ones, whether it's the air conditioning, abatement kind of things. So a lot of that has been worked on over the decades. And we've got cooling in there, but as the systems start to break down, they are high cost. So there's the facility needs, and then there's the capacity needs. So just being able to meet the needs of the enrollment. So a lot of our schools are very overcrowded. Holomoa is probably a prime example of that. is having to be on multi-track, and that's a very difficult thing for the faculty and the staff to maintain. Just going every year, they blend into each other. So the capacity needs, they're going to run into the issues. I know we're not Kapolei and Ho'opili, but that's going to bleed over into Eva Beach because they're not going to be able to support all the students with the homes that are growing out there because the schools are not being built fast enough. There was the development and support for the East Kapolei Elementary, but the high school is a tall ask. So those students will need to go somewhere. Campbell is already full, and Kapolei High School will fill up eventually with those communities.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, thank you for all you guys, what you guys do. Thank you for coming. Hopefully we can get that situation solved as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to Eva Beach Sewer Improvement Project, Department of Environmental Services.
Good evening, Chair and board members. Roger Babcock, Department of Environmental Services with the city. Thanks for having me here, especially to talk about sewers. That is, environmental services, ENV, we take care of all of the city's wastes. So sewers is liquid waste, refuse, solid waste. So that's all of what we do, everything that has to do with waste. So we have a sewer system that is island-wide, and that consists of collection system pipes, wastewater treatment plants, et cetera, including recycling facilities and all that kind of stuff. There's 2,000 miles of sewer pipe currently that we own and maintain, 72 pump stations and 9 wastewater treatment plants. The second largest treatment plant is the treatment plant just up the road here in Eva Beach that we call Honolulu Treatment Plant. There are a number of residents on the island that are not connected to a sewer system. There's about over 7,000 homes that are not connected. For the most part, those homes have cesspools. And so those are not part of our system, so they don't pay a sewer fee, and they're essentially on their own with respect to their wastewater treatment and disposal. So there was the city on an ongoing basis is always analyzing each of the sewer basins and looking at where the unsewered areas are within the basins. So that and there are unsewered areas in most of the basins, but most of them are small. The largest one is this one location in Eva Beach where there's over 900 cesspools in one neighborhood. It's very close to here. And so we had, for a long time, we identify these areas and we make plans for bringing sewers to the unsewered areas. We don't do that on the North Shore. The biggest number of unsewered area is from Haleiwa around to Laie, Kahuku area. And there's most of them are over there, and there are no plans we don't have a treatment plant over there or any plans. They're not part of a sewer basin, and they'll never get sewers. So they're always going to be on their own. The other thing that's interesting is in 2017, the state passed a law that banned all cesspools by the year 2050. So what that means is it's an unfunded mandate where the state said that everyone that has a cesspool needs to upgrade their own system or connect to a sewer system by that date. And at that time, it was 33 years into the future. But now we're getting a little bit closer, but we're still pretty far away from that time frame. So anyway, the city normally doesn't build sewers. Normally sewers are built during the development stage, and the developer has to follow all the city standards. They have to construct it properly. They then have to have it inspected. once it's operational, and then they have to dedicate it to the city. And so there's a process associated with that. They have to provide all kinds of information. We have to inspect it. City council does have to accept it, and then we would take ownership then, as well as maintenance of that, then, in perpetuity and rehabilitation and everything for the rest of time. And and then in exchange for that service, then you folks pay a monthly sewer bill. So specifically to there's a question about the what we call the ʻEwa Beach Sewer Improvement District project. And again, so this is something that has existed for a while, and some work has been done on planning and design for the project. And so a couple of years ago, we proposed so there's a multi-step process to get a sewer improvement district project to happen. And there are multiple stages where the city council has to approve it. And the reason for that is there's a cost impact on the rest of the ratepayers, as well as the people that are going to get the sewers, right? And so we first have to go and ask permission to do planning for a sewer improvement district. And then we do the planning and bring back a report, and then get approval to take the next step, which is to design it. Then we got to go back and get the design approved with a cost estimate, and then, it can happen. After the very first step, when you start the planning, is when it includes public outreach. Normally, that's the way that what the flow chart says in the rules. So we hadn't done outreach when we went and proposed it a couple of years ago to council, and so they said, no, you need to go do outreach now before we will approve this first step. So we took some time to put that together. Eventually, we worked with Councilmember Toba to do an outreach effort. And so they went around and knocked on doors, they distributed flyers, and we set up a town hall meeting. That town hall meeting happened on June 9th, and it was at Kaimiloa Elementary School. And we had a very good turnout. We had maybe 120 people or so were there interested in the project to hear about it. And so we made a presentation, and the flyer that you have, and there are more of those on the back table for the audience. It's just I'm looking at this one. It's kind of folded and small. Gives information about that and about the project. And so we presented about the project and how it would work and what it would cost, and we're honest about the disruptions. We have to dig up the street, and the project takes quite a while, and there are some impacts and some burden on the community. And then at the same time, then after that, once folks are connected, they're going to start to pay a sewer bill from that point. And currently, of course, they don't have a sewer bill, and the sewer bills are not zero. They're not necessarily inexpensive. It's over $100, for a median size, median family use per month. And so that is an issue. So there was overwhelming disinterest in the project moving forward. So at that time, right away, Senator Favela had also set up a second town hall meeting that was to be the following week on June 15th. I think it was June 15th. That was canceled because of the lack of interest at the meeting on the 9th. It didn't seem like a reason to do another meeting, presumably with the same people, with the exact same presentation. So we didn't do that because we had already decided that we were going to postpone the project based on the impact we received, because our job from the city council was go do public outreach and tell us what they said, and then we'll approve it to move forward. So there was no reason to go back and ask permission to go forward, because we would say, no one wants this project. So they would say, okay, you're done. So when I say postponed, what I mean is the project sort of still exists. And there will be probably a point at some point in the future when the public reaction will be very different, and they will actually want the project because it will be more expensive to upgrade your own system than it will be for the city to bring in sewers and then and do all the work and the connection. But the city does not have to do the project or any sewer improvement district project. There's no requirement in any laws that govern us to connect more people or connect anybody that's not connected. We're required to run our system and collect fees to pay for that operation and that kind of stuff, but not to connect other people. So the project, in other words, what that means is that the project will have to be desired by the community. This project and all the others. We have 18 other sewer improvement district projects on the books around the island. Most of them are much smaller. Some of them are only 10 houses or 100 or, you know, everything in between. This one's by far the largest. So I guess that's kind of the background and kind of where we're at. And I believe that when the community is ready and comes to the city and says, you know, we want this project, the city will do the project. And, you know, that will be the case. I think that when you get closer, right now, if we did the project, it would take several years actually to build it and finish everything. But at that point, then you can be paying sewer fees from say 2033 through 2050 that you kind of didn't have to in a way, right? So that could be looked at as savings. And I think that's probably the calculation people are doing. When you get to 2040 and it's imminent that you're going to have to do something, or 45, then probably there will be a request, you know, to do these projects, and then the city will do them. And pretty sure that if the city is working on a project, putting in sewers, and it isn't done by 2050, there's not going to be any fines or anything. They're going to say, okay, yeah, the sewer's coming, but it's not ready for you yet. So, you know, you're not in violation of the law. So anyway, I'm happy to answer any questions. Hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you. Go ahead, John.
So you talked about what the city can do, but we didn't talk about like the alternative. So if someone wanted to change from cesspool and not go on the city sewer line, how much will that cost? I mean, generally, and what is the system?
Yeah. So what the law says is that folks will have to get onto a sewer system or an approved other on-site system. So the simplest other approved on-site system is called a septic tank and a leach field. And there are quite a few of those around on the island wide, not necessarily there. And so that really varies in terms of the cost. It could be, depending on, you know, kind of how big the lot is and whether there are trees and walls, you know, rock walls that need to be moved and how much paving there is and all that kind of stuff. It could really vary from perhaps as little as like $20,000 to $25,000 up to, we've seen some where it's, you know, it's $100,000. But, you know, I mean, that's kind of worst case, right? Those are kind of two extremes. We usually tell people for approximately 50,000, I think is what, you know, kind of a number to use. One thing to note though is the best option for people really is if the city brings a sewer, because then, you know, that system is going to be sort of maintained forever. And then the other thing is if the way the law works is if the city brings a sewer on your street, legally you must connect to that sewer. You can't decide, oh, I want to have an on-site, I want to keep my on-site system. That's not legal. So you have to connect. And so people need to understand that, and we've been explaining, but if you upgrade your cesspool to a septic tank and leach field, an approved system, and then later the city brings a sewer onto your street, you again are required to connect to the sewer and close your upgraded system. Okay, so that doesn't sound fair, right? But the city did put in ordinance a way to make those people whole, and that is that if that's the situation, your situation, you have an approved system that's been upgraded, but now you have to connect to the sewer. The city in the ordinance says your sewer fees will be waived for 25 years. So that is to sort of make up for what you paid for your system. It may or may not make you whole, and that's not necessarily the objective, but it is what's on the books. So it is pretty generous. But you should know that let's say you got that and you start getting no sewer bill, and then you sell your house after 10 years, that goes away. The new owner is going to start to pay sewer fees immediately because they didn't pay, for that upgrade system. It's included essentially in the cost of the house. So, but anyway, the city council did put that in place to make those people whole.
Should add in the payment for the connection.
Yeah.
Better sell on that one.
So we did put in the connection to try to make it a little more attractive. It is unclear whether that will, still be the case, in the future. Because it does set a precedent for all other projects. So that precedent has not been set yet. It was proposed, but it has not been approved. So it doesn't really exist. I hopefully everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So when under normal circumstances, what the city does in a sewer improvement district project is we bring the sewer into your street, and then we build, and it's pretty deep usually in the ground, at least 10 feet. And then what's called a lateral, that's the connection between the house and the sewer main in the street. So everybody has a lateral. Each house has a separate lateral. And that's your pipe, and it's a 4 to 6 inch pipe. The city builds the lateral from the main, deep in the middle of the street, up to the sidewalk. And they put in a stub and a clean out, rise up to the top, a stub on that, and that's then remains all city property, right? It's in the right of way. Right of way goes to the inside edge of the sidewalk, if there's a sidewalk. If it's not, then it's the property line, wherever the property line is, edge of pavement, depends. And then it's the homeowner's responsibility to do the connection from the house out to the city lateral connection. And so there is a cost associated with that, and there is and it is something that does require a permit from the city, from DPP, because there's plumbing involved, and so there's an ordinance that that there are rules that govern that, and it does have to have either a plumber or an engineer sign off on that as part of the permit application process. And so there is a cost associated with that. Estimate $10,000 or so, for that private side of the connection. And to sweeten the deal on this, we threw that in as the city would pay for that.
David, you got something?
Yeah, I was just trying to understand. So you said the credit is non-transferable, right? Because I mean, when you sell your house, if you're going to zero out the remaining value of that system, then it's not really in the selling price because there's no value assigned to that at that point. So you're essentially taking it away from the homeowner at the time they sell. Is that the understanding?
Yep, that's what happens.
Any other questions from the board? Corey, go ahead.
So you had this meeting with the community. What was the objection primarily over that approximately $10,000 cost to bring out to fix our current cesspools and bring out the line out? Was that the biggest objection that you guys were facing?
No, so we eliminated that objection. We proposed to include the lateral in the city project.
Explain that, please.
What's that?
What do you mean by lateral? Including
So
that
I mean,
connection
the
from
entire lateral and the closing of the cesspool on their property in exchange for giving the city an easement to be able to maintain the lateral. So that's also an additional, essentially permanent service that doesn't exist now. Mostly everybody else, me and all of us that are connected to the sewer, we own and are responsible for the lateral that's on our property. City will never come and fix that, right? It's private property. In this case, we propose, because we can't construct something on private property and give it away, that we would have to retain ownership. And the only way to do that then and have access to it would be with an easement. So there's some concerns about, an easement, which is a sort of a right that is permanent, to access something on your property. I think the main thing was probably the sewer fees that people would pay in all the ensuing years. So.
But you just said that they're talking about a 25-year waiver, right?
No, so the 25-year waiver, great question, thank you. 25-year waiver is only if you had, let's say in this project area, if they had already upgraded, they didn't have a cesspool anymore, they had upgraded it to a septic tank and a leach field on their own, that's already done, and they've paid for that. When our sewer comes in, they still have to connect and stop using that system. So that's the only way you get a waiver, is if you've already made an upgrade.
So I'm just going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
Corey, wait, Corey. You guys dialoguing, sorry.
One last question.
Wait. Any questions from the community? Nothing online? Go ahead, Corey.
So would it solve your problems if you offer that waiver to everyone and also did the easement?
Yeah, so no, we wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, everyone connected to the sewer system has to pay the fee. The other thing to note about that is that when I say the city is doing this project, who pays for that project? All the ratepayers are paying for that project. So everybody else, all the rest of us are paying, for this benefit, to the folks. So yeah, so they do need to pay fees just like everybody else. We can't waive fees.
All right. We got one more question. Go, Rep. Oro, go ahead.
Hi, Director Babcock. It's
Hi,
Representative Ayazora.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hi. My question is, for the data, I know that you said over 900 homes for this Eva Beach Sewer project. When they had the presentation, how do we collect, or how did you guys collect data to say how many of the owners said yes, or how many of the owners said no? Like when you made your presentation to say that you guys didn't want to proceed with it, there had to have been data, right? That if we're not going to spend $83 million here, the reason we didn't spend it is because X number of residents said no. Because I was there and I didn't see any kind of like actual vote to collect that to know that somebody was an owner and that somebody said like an affirmative yes or no.
Yeah, so thanks for the question. I think it was clear from, that evening that, because I think at the end when sort of asked whether people wanted it or not, it was actually Councilmember Toba was at the mic and he said, he actually didn't say how many people are against it. He said, how many people, want this, are for it? And there were no hands raised at all. So that was, that's the extent of our data collection. We didn't do any kind of other survey or anything like that. I think based on that, what we decided was that if we went back to city council, there's no way for us to say that the community does support this project. So yeah.
All right. Seeing no other questions, thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry, I did also want to mention the other handout that you got is a survey that we're doing. It's basically about your water, your sewers, your say. What do you think about essentially water quality and what the challenges are? Yeah, thanks, Chair. The challenges are that you feel associated with wastewater and stormwater. It's part of this thing that we call integrated planning that we're doing. And there are more of those handouts out there. And anybody who's interested in taking a survey, I know everybody loves taking a survey, right? It's very fast. There's only 8 questions. It does help us prioritize. And one of the things you can choose is we should upgrade cesspools. So it does help us decide what our priorities are based on what people perceive as either real or perceived problems, like beach is not clean. Is it because of stormwater? Is it because of wastewater? Do you think it's the water is safe to swim in? What do you think that we should focus on? Because there are more things to do and costs than what we have money for, as everybody knows, right? And so we really, in order for us to do the prioritization and be able to do certain projects, we actually have to show the Department of Health and the EPA that this is what the public wants. They want us to do this instead of this. And so that's what the survey's for. So anyway, I just want to do a plug for that. And it's available, all these things are available on our website, honolulu.gov/ENV. So
Thank you
thanks,
very
Chair.
much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, moving on to residents, community concerns, and community announcements. First, we're going to go out to the community. Anybody with a concern or announcement, please step up to your mic. State your name, your concern, or your announcement, please.
Aloha. Good evening, Chairman, board members, and Apple Beach community. My name is Sharina Prince, and I am representing Kamahao Canoe Club. And on behalf of Kamahao Canoe Club, we are very, very, very appreciative, and we just wanted to say mahalo for the resolutions that were provided. We accepted it, and it has been very vital in terms of our current situation as well. We also want to update y'all on what's been going on. And we are in current communications with Kapalina Beach Homes in terms of trying to work things out. We don't know yet exactly on the timeline on when we're going to actually sift through things, but we are in communications with them as well. On a positive note, we just finished our regatta season, and our girls 10 actually made it to the HCRA States Championship and completed in the top 10 of the states. So I just wanted to shout that out and kind of give that awesome news as well. And we are still doing what we need to do within the community. We actually did a beach cleanup as well with inside Kapalina Beach Homes. We gathered a lot of trash, both on the beach as well as around our surroundings where we actually practice at as well. So just wanted to give y'all an update and mahalo very much on behalf of Kamahao Canoe Club.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, go ahead.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Zoe Wilkes, and I'm from the Military and Community Relations Office with the state. Just wanted to come here today to introduce a series we've been holding at my office called Community Conversations. So far, we've met with about 50 different groups statewide. But essentially, the purpose of these community conversations is to get direct community input on military leased training lands. Obviously, this is a very hot topic right now. And all of that input is being carefully recorded by my team, and it is going directly to the governor's office. So if you would like to learn more about these community conversations, I do have a QR code printed out there on the table, and that will take you to our website that has more information. And if you have a group in mind, so far we've been meeting with groups of about 5 to 7 or 10. So anyway, if that's something you're interested in, feel free to let us know through that QR code. I also have my card on the table. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
All right, I think we have a question online, Zoe. Hold on. Go ahead. Oh, no. Oh, oh, sorry. Never mind. Anybody got any questions for Zoe? Go ahead, Susan.
Yes, is your group the ones who did the presentations like in Wahiwa and, okay.
Yep.
Will there be any other presentations anywhere around the island?
So this is actually the last neighborhood board that we've been to. We've covered all of them, but we will continue to just keep kind of rotating through, probably into next year even. So yeah, you can expect to see us all over.
David, go ahead.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that you've got a QR code over there. Is there like a mailing list or something that people can sign up for so that they get updates when you do have those events?
Yes. So, yeah, you can also sign up for our newsletter. You'll see info on that as well. If you just take that QR code, kind of scroll to the bottom of the page, and that info is down there where you can enter your email address if you'd like to be kind of notified that way on the latest happenings. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Okay, we have one more question. Mike, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mike Plowman, board member, Military Affairs Committee Chair. I'm wondering if the scope of your discussions are limited to military training on leased land, or does the scope of your discussions also include military training that is not on leased land, like right here in our neighborhood?
Yeah, absolutely. So just because that the lease land is kind of the focus of these discussions, it is not the only thing that we have received feedback on. It is very open, it's very talk story style, very casual. So we've gotten input on infrastructural things, environment is obviously I think a very big piece. Yeah, it is very open.
Great, very interested in the discussion, and I don't have the QR code, but the email you sent the board today and the link that's on there, will that provide us with everything we need to get on? Okay, great. Thanks so much for addressing us.
Thank you.
And we also posted in a Google Drive as well. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Zoe.
Mahalo.
Any other question? We have one online. Jolly, you have a concern or announcement? Go ahead. Oh, Jolie.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak. Aloha, my name is Jolie Numasaki. I am a community engagement specialist for the Red Hill Registry. I live right here in ʻEwa Beach, and I just wanted to let the public know, anyone who hasn't heard of us, the Red Hill Registry is here to track the long-term health of anyone that was exposed to the Red Hill water crisis that happened back in 2021, almost 5 years ago. And I'll drop our email or our website in the chat, so hopefully it can make it to the Google Drive. But I'd just like to share with everyone that we have some new resources for the community. We recently came out with a health care provider letter. So what that is basically a one-page letter that anyone who is exposed can take to their doctor, other healthcare provider. Basically, it documents their exposure and it helps to keep it a medical record in the chart, especially for anyone in the military or anyone who might be moving around, because we know our exposed community isn't here on island and sometimes they move around for whatever reason. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm going to drop the link to our website and also my contact information. But yeah, thank you for letting me have the time to speak here.
Thank you, Jolie. Anyone else? Oh, Susan, go ahead.
Yes, and just a reminder that people that live in Capelina Beach homes are on the Navy water line. A lot of people that live there don't know that. And so if you were there during 2021, you were exposed to the jet fuel in the water. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other residents' community concerns, announcements? Sir? Go ahead. Take your time.
Oh, shoot. I don't have the grip I used to. John Stewart, I'm been a resident of Hawaii for over 25 years. United States Navy retired, former law enforcement officer, master's degree in public administration, emphasis justice, worked with local law enforcement at the Copley Courthouse. I also did an internship with the Department of Treasury downtown Honolulu Field Office in Alakea Street next to the 3rd District Court. My concern is the flock cameras that have been recently placed along Papi'i Road. Many folks are unaware of the capabilities of these particular types of cameras. This flock is one brand. There's multiple out there that are being utilized. And I don't believe that these cameras were properly mitigated by whoever authorized their replacement. Mr. Tolba and I have been trying to play phone tag, and he did try to return his call, and I thank him for that. But even in his newsletter says, if you want to learn more about these cameras, go to www.dflock.com. If that doesn't tell you the concern about these cameras, I would suggest that you probably talk to Mr. Tolba, as I intend to follow up with him. These cameras are being brought to the Supreme Court, although it didn't get passed as legislation. These cameras are in dire violation of your Fourth Amendment right from unlawful searches and seizures. These cameras do not just take license plate recognition or LPRs. These cameras have the ability to read the chip in your heart for your pacemaker. They can read your glucose monitor. They can read your Fitbit. They can come through your telephone via Wi-Fi and or with the Bluetooth up open while you're driving on your phone, in your vehicle. That includes people walking down the street on Papiti Road who place their trash can at the curb in the morning when they're wearing their underwear probably, or something inappropriate. Also, it takes pictures of the children that are going to school. And it stores this in a data center. The data center consumes a lot of water, and they use a lot of electricity to store and keep all this data fresh. The rollout was brought up by the state. I saw it on TV on KHON, KGBM, and all the locals. The cameras are rolled out as license plate readers. You have nothing to fear. It's for our safety. Well, let me tell you what these cameras can also do. They can read your chip in your pet, and if it's in your vehicle. It looks at your vehicle. It not only looks at your license plate, make, and model, it looks for scratches, dings, dents, cracked windshields, etc. And it looks at stickers. It says, my child is a proud honor student at whatever school, because these cameras also have the ability to look into whoever's walking down the street, whether it be a minor, and it's recorded and it's stored. Anybody can access with an anonymous request and track somebody that they may not like. ACO applauds important to support Supreme Court decision making clear location data is protected by the Constitution. The decision was forcefully rejected by the government's argument that law enforcement can request our location data in the form of geofencing, which is a search free of any Fourth Amendment limitation. Well, the ACLU Center said that that is unlawful, and therefore it went back to the appellate court. Florida woman was stalked and pulled over by a sheriff's deputy who saw her on a TV shoot. A Texas sheriff's deputy used 83,000 flock ALPRs to find a woman who had allegedly had a medicated abortion at the behest of her abusive partner. In Georgia, a police chief tracked his ex-girlfriend and her teenage daughter roughly 600 times, warrantless. Police accused of misuse flock cameras across 12 states. Newsweek article, recent court cases, internal investigations, and disciplinary actions. Cases span Alabama, California, Florida, and many, many more. Despite new updates, Flock's creepy cameras remain major civil liberty violations. Flock announced it is reducing its standard data retention from 1 month to 1 week, conceding for the first time that roughly 90% of all searches of Flock already happened within a week of the data's collection. Flock is launching a new evidence mode. Yay. Triggers the retention of any ALPR data that is searched. Then the new mode could indefinitely retain all the ALPR data. Flock collects and shares nationally. This would make Flock's data retention problem even worse. Even in evidence mode, data retention hold only applies to hits, returned, or given search. It would still remain significant amounts of location data on a person, their vehicle, who law enforcement do not suspect have engaged in any wrongdoing.
Mr. Stewart, can you wrap it up?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Point being is the cameras are being used in a manner that is not in consideration of our civil liberties and our rights under the Constitution of the United States. Please read up on your own, find court precedences, and I thank you for your time. I appreciate everybody's moment of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Any questions?
This is just
John.
a question to the board and
Okay, go ahead.
folks in the know. We were never presented that we were going to have license plate reader cameras put in Papipi Road. It's like, I knew all about the ones in town, and I've always followed that list to see what was going on. And this is like totally new news to me. that. So I guess we need DTS or somebody to come in and tell us why there's what was the reason and who funded it, and did the city council approve it? I mean, is it a DOT thing? Maybe I'll ask my DOT rep. I'll definitely do that. But anyway, this is something that we have not heard about, and yeah, thank you.
One more thing, if I may.
Go ahead.
The owner of Flock is associated with Jeffrey Epstein. It has been alleged. So that is a consideration as well. They are collecting data on everybody that goes to school. That should bother.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Mr. Aki, you have a question, concern? Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Aki. I'm a resident of Eva Beach. I believe a month ago, the Supreme Court shut down the gun carry law regarding the state of Hawaii. It's something like that. I'm here asking the board. I'm in the field of public transportation. I've been in the field for 47 years. As soon as that bill, I saw it on the news where stores started putting out no guns allowed in the storefronts. Like I always said, I'm in public transportation. I don't want any guns around bus stops, transit centers, handy vans, where people cannot protect themselves. Okay, from the kids to the kapunas. Okay, so that's my humble request. Now, if you guys can create one resolution, that would be even nicer. Okay, but if not, me and Mr. Rogers sit on the ample. I'll be asking them for put it out over there too. Okay. Now, whether you guys agree with me or not, I really don't care. It's public safety. Okay. Public safety has no boundaries. Okay. Look at all the kids in Eva Beach that catch a bus. Look at all the kapunas by McDonald's sitting there. You don't need somebody carrying one AK-47 walking around and up and down it. You know what I'm saying. I don't enjoy you on picture. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Any other concerns or announcements? Oh, Uncle David Aki. David, no, Uncle Aki. Wait, sorry. You have to, if you want to ask a question, you have to go up to the mic. I'm sorry about that.
Hello,
Yeah,
young
go
lady.
ahead.
How can I help you?
Wait, she has to go up to the mic, Uncle.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Kamanava. I live in Eva Beach as well. I just have a question, Uncle. In regards to like gun safety, how would you be able to differentiate? Because it seems law-abiding citizens are carrying guns are not necessarily the issue. It's the criminals that don't follow the laws. So you're still going to have that issue. So how do you differentiate? Like guns are a right according to the Constitution. So you would just be taking guns out of law-abiding citizens who could maybe help you at the public spaces when criminals are going to carry guns no matter what the law says. So I was just curious about that. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. Okay, first of all, yeah, I got nothing against the guns, okay? I used to hunt. I was in the military, okay? Okay, and I thank all the veterans in the audience, okay? I thank you for your service, okay? All I'm doing is trying to protect the kids, the kapunas, and the innocent people, okay? Now, as far as what the evil people do out there, they're going to do them whether we like it or not, okay? We cannot stop that from happening, okay? But listen, like I always said, I've been in public transportation from the 70s. We've seen a lot of nasty stuff come on a bus, okay? We don't need any more nasty things coming on a bus, okay? The city introduced Bill 45, says no knives, bombs, guns, gasoline, okay? So you know what? It's not like I'm creating this. The city already introduced it, so I'm just repeating and echoing what they said, okay? Now, Eva Beach. Mitchell, first of all, thank you for, thank you. I never see you long time, okay? But thank you. You too, Shane, okay? But if you can consider just creating one resolution coming out of Eva Beach, that would be really nice, okay? The worst can happen. Think about it. What's the worst can happen? Somebody going to say, no, we want guns around bus stops and transit centers. You understand what I'm saying, yeah? Okay? So I only deal with common sense people. And I'm on college degree, okay? So with that being said, I thank all of you guys, okay? For allowing me the time. You guys have a nice night. And
Thank you,
thank you,
Uncle.
Chair. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, concerns from the community? Seeing none, nothing online from the board? Yeah, announcements of community concerns. Okay, go ahead, Susan.
Okay, I got a couple announcements. The community, I have a flyer back there, the Community Representation Initiative is going to be having a Zoom meeting Thursday, August 20th. There's a link to register. We're going to have a special guest speaker, Dr. ʻEwa Davis. She's going to be talking about thermal remediation. If you do or do not know, the jet fuel plume is still floating above our aquifer, and it's going to need to be remediated. So we are having a PhD talk about thermal remediation. And then also on Saturday, September 12th or Friday, September 11th, Honolulu Museum of Art, there's a documentary called Gaslit. It's about liquefied natural gas. Some people want to bring that onto the island. This is a documentary about places in the U.S. that have it and some very bad effects and some accidents that have occurred. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on the board? Seeing none, and just to let the new people from the audience know that if you have any questions or concerns, you can fill out. There's a half sheet on the board on the back if you don't want to come up to the mic and stuff. And if you fill out your concern, you put your name, your phone number, and the NCO officer will make sure that it goes to the proper or all the elected officials as well that your concern is for in the community. All right. All right. Moving on to. Oh, sorry. Oh, go up to the mic. Sorry. No, go right up to the mic. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, my name is Stephanie Kamanava. This is my first time here. I'm nervous, so please bear with me. Let's see. Sorry. I am a proud Hawaii resident for over 20 years. And I am a homeowner in ʻEwa by Gentry, Sun Terra South Homes, that's across by Geiger Park, and I live in a 0-lot community. That's important to what I'm going to share. My house wall, my bedroom, is my neighbor's fence. This is from my bedroom in my house. We all recognize this sound. This is what I wake up to every morning from as early as 4 o'clock. I'm just going to leave this on because this is what I hear every morning for hours. So leave that on while I talk. So it can start at 4 o'clock, and roosters are known to crow consistently from, it usually lasts till 6:30 or 7. Again, I have a 0-lot. The HOA says that the board of directors has the discretion to determine if any use of a unit or behavior of a residence is a nuisance, et cetera, et cetera. When they go to the HOA, they cannot enforce any of the rules or laws. ʻEwa by Gentry states that there is a 2-chicken law, but there's also, there's rules about where the placement is. So 5 feet from the property lines, 20 feet from neighboring homes. In 0-lots, the yard is not that big. It's not even 20 feet. This is really distracting me. I'm going to turn it down, but you get the idea. You get my point. I'm still going to keep it going though. So HOA, I visited, they will not enforce these rules because of the Fair Housing Act. And they informed me that there was someone who got beat up when they tried to enforce rules, so they don't do it. But we have rules and house rules and laws. So this is what I was told. They said, go to HPD. So I went to HPD in person and called. I got to stop this. It's driving me crazy. This is what I listen to every morning without a choice. So on the Honolulu Police Department website, it says the HPD is committed to handling animal nuisance and complaints. If it's incessantly for 10 minutes, which a rooster does that, everyone knows, or goes on for more than 30 minutes intermittent, a rooster does that, everyone knows. It's a disturbance. So HPD, when I went there, they said you can file a report. They said they need to actually come out in person. The problem with that is that Kapolei HPD changed shift to 6 o'clock in the morning. That's during rooster time. So I'll call at 5. And then they don't want to come near a shift change. They told me that it's not a priority to them. I appreciate what HPD does. I forgot to say thank you and greet everyone too. I'm sorry. HPD pretty much said, go to Humane Society. Okay, so I call Humane Society. They gave me the runaround. They don't do it either. They only handle with animals, not chickens. So then this is kind of where I'm at after running in circles. It seems like people are not communicating within organizations. It's so frustrating. This is my life. I am also a Navy veteran. I have PTSD. I'm a homeschool mom of our son who's in 10th grade for all these years. I'm almost in tears, like just having to listen to this right now. If you don't understand what this nuisance is and you never heard it, this is what it is. I need help. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and my right to live peaceably in my home is not being protected. I don't know who else to go to. Why? In a zero lot community, I didn't buy a farm. I don't want chickens. This is my life. Thank you for your time.
Who's your HOA?
Eva by Gentry.
Oh. Grab your mic, David.
A lot of the zero lot communities have like a sub-association. Is there
Sunterra South.
Sunterra?
The whole entire community is zero lot.
Does this rooster belong to your your
Yes,
neighbor?
they just got it in the past few days, and I've slept about 6 hours and 3 days because I'm also a night person. I have sleep disorder from PTSD, and sorry. And I have to be able to function and homeschool our child. Sorry. And I'm running on no sleep. I'm tired. And
Wait.
I've been running around to different organizations. They keep pointing me in different ways. I need help.
Who's the chair at the Gentry board right now?
I don't even know the name. I went in and I know Cheyenne is in charge of, I don't even know her last name. I went yesterday in person. Cheyenne is in charge of, sorry, I'm brain farting. I'm nervous. And then there was a gentleman behind her, but I don't really know.
Corey, go ahead.
First of all, sorry you're going through this. I want to just clarify something you said. Have you called the police?
Yes.
Have they come out?
Yes, 2 days ago, or yes, I called the police and it was in the morning and said it's a non-priority. I said, I totally get that. I'll come out. They called me about an hour later. It was after shift change, after 6 o'clock, which I didn't find out later. That's what they do. And they said, well, we have a robbery now. So we can either come back, they said, but we usually don't handle this. That's what the guy on the phone said. He said, I would suggest calling a mediation, which doesn't work with my neighbor. Tried that before. And you can call your Humane Society. So he said, you can call us later. We can come out, we can file a report, but we have to sit there for 30 minutes and listen to the rooster. That's not when roosters crow like that. It's in the morning. So now what? They'll never be able to come out during that time because it's a shift change. We all know what roosters do. They don't cock-a-doodle-doo one time. It's over and over and over. And they didn't accept my video evidence that I had. They had to come in person. Thank you for your question.
Tell them Zoom. You don't need, yeah. Here's my Zoom call. Any other questions from the board? Again, I would also fill out this half sheet with your name, address, and
And
concern.
that's on the table?
Yeah, it should be on the back table as well and turn it in to
Okay.
the NCO officer just to make sure that your concern is heard to every representative, senator, council member, senator, governor, mayor.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm confused because I live in, we all live in associations here. Most of us do. And I can't believe the covenants doesn't have a nuisance rule in it.
They
that-
do.
Well, then.
They don't
site-
enforce anything. They don't enforce parking. They don't enforce nothing because they don't have
So-
a community watch either anymore.
So then I'm sorry to say this, it might cost you money, but you could get a lawyer and kind of go against the association. I'm not a lawyer, so I shouldn't even say this, but there's action you can take against association to make them follow the rules. So that would be your best bet is to go against the association somehow.
Do you know anything about the Fair Housing Act? Because they said that trumps things, the Fair Housing Act, and they don't enforce everything. I don't know why they call it laws. They don't enforce anything.
Fair housing that has to do with accessibility and
Is HPD online?
They left.
They left. So listen, I know this is not gonna do any justice for you. HPD attends our meetings.
Yes.
I love them
Yep.
to answer this. Since you came afterwards, we can't directly address them.
Okay.
But this is something that we can follow up with them as well. Hopefully at the next meeting, this is something we can address with them as well. I know we can ask our city council members to also reach out to HPD to find out. It doesn't seem like the answer you got is sufficient. And it
I
doesn't sound
filed a
sufficient to me
report
either.
and they said they send it to city and county and it takes up to 10, I don't know when they said they get it, but a response takes up to 10 business days or something. They send it to them, but then it's like a mystery sending report. I have a report number, but they just send it. They don't do anything with it. And the option to come out and sit for 30 minutes would have to be in the morning when it's actually going on. And it's up to their discretion, they said, to determine if it's a violation. Although it's clearly stated in Honolulu Police Department website that they shall be the lead agency in the investigation and enforcement of animal nuisance complaints covered under Chapter 12 ROH.
David, you got something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, to his point, it might cost you a little bit to go talk to somebody, but I mean, Fair Housing Act is about discrimination based on certain protected classes, and obnoxious roosters are not.
No, they said they can claim any animal as a support emotional animal up to the size of a horse. They've had turtles that they've deemed that, and they can claim a rooster or chicken as a support animal. That's what I was told by HOA.
That's where you should talk to somebody, because I think that you're
Okay, so.
getting bad information from your HOA.
Okay, so from here, which was my last stop, what do I fill out the form
And turn that into me.
and turn it into you, and
Yeah.
then what? I contact what kind of lawyer? Like, I'll do anything you guys say.
We cannot tell you about
Cannot
lawyers and
advise.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, we'll turn the microphone off and then you can, and okay, I'm kidding.
But you know,
Okay.
other than that, you know, you have your homeowners association, which is Sunterra South, right?
Yes.
Then you got the master association, which is
By
Gentry.
Gentry.
So we have Gentry online right now with Sonny. Hi, Sonny. I know you got covenants over there. You got to send those golf carts and trucks over there. Or you mute. Go ahead. I cannot hear you.
Sorry about that.
go.
Yes, no, first of all, super sorry that's been happening. I also live by many roosters as well, so I feel you a little bit. I've been taking notes, and while so like Gentry, we are like legally separated from EBGC, so we don't have any like enforcement power over them, but I can I was planning to connect you with our head of customer service, who does work more closely with the like Dila. She's the head of all of EBGCA. Hopefully to get you guys like a meeting together or something, or at least to share it and pass it along on how like how your HOA has been handling it. So that's what I can do for you. And if you don't, you can share with me your email and whatnot, or any contact info, and I can share mine in the chat too. But that's what I was thinking, to maybe try and help you out a little bit.
Okay, I don't know how to get to a chat or anything, or I
Oh,
don't.
yes. Yes.
She'll give it to you.
After?
She'll give it to.
Okay,
Yeah, she'll put it in.
okay.
Alrighty.
just one other suggestion. Become a member of your board. And it gives you, I was a member of my board for a lot of years, and it gives you an in to how the board is being run, and you're a vote. Now you're a vote in the board. So maybe what's going on in your board doesn't sound right to me. And so
yeah.
being
Thank
a
you,
member,
sir.
which could change that.
Yes, because the last board meeting, they said the same thing. They don't have control over it. So thank you. I appreciate all of your advice, and I will fill this out and try to get her email and my email to her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no other questions or concerns, we're gonna move on. Okay, moving on to other monthly reports. Hunt companies. Anybody from Hunt? Seeing none, moving on to Gentry. Sonny.
Yes, hi all. Sunny Rosario here for Gentry. I have an update on the Geiger light. So thankfully we're able to meet with the new person who took over in March. And from that, we were able to come to an agreement on the next steps. And we're estimating the traffic signal will be completed approximately August of 2028. but this is assuming design approvals are obtained at the end of October this year, with a 9-month lead to obtain the traffic signal materials. Some other info, the design phase is 4 months. In addition to DTS plan approval, we do need DDC approval for the street lights and tentative approval from their subdivision branch. There's an easement that we need to dedicate to them along the Honolulu by that treatment plant. And then the procurement phase is about 10 to 13 months, and then construction will take 7 months.
I heard 9, 13, 7, and 26, but gonna get done on August 2028.
Yes, and I was just giving, and I can email this to you as well. It's a lot of numbers coming out of my mouth. I was just giving the little timelines.
We're not we're not building a building. I'm just saying that the city or whoever is just a stoplight.
Yeah, no, completely understand. I know it's been really, really frustrating and a long, arduous process. But this is what we've come to.
Okay, I guess we gotta put fire under somebody, but we'll go try. Any questions for Gentry? Oh, sorry, Sonny, you got any other report?
No, that's it. It was just mainly the Geiger, nothing else right now. But no, I understand. I'm sorry it'll take so long.
You just got to remember that intersection had 2 deaths already. And
yeah.
Okay.
No, I hear you.
Okay. John, you got something?
Just real quick, I'm just trying to understand. You folks have the best on Fort Weaver. It always looks great. I saw the irrigation running today when I was riding my bike here. And I'm just wondering, do you use R1 water or is it regular water?
Along Fort Weaver?
Well, just all
And
your
any Gentry properties?
any of your
Sure, that I'm
common
not
area.
sure of. I can go check on that. I know R1 water, it's not as, I will go check on that. I can come back to you.
Yeah, because we use where I live is R1 water, and we have a lot of outages, and so we're having a lot of trouble. So I'm going, are you folks on R1 or is it regular water? Because it's always looking so good over there. Thanks.
Sure.
Don't
Yeah, no
drink
problem.
the purple pipe. Do not drink the purple pipe.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, I know this issue about that light. Sorry, I'm gonna go back
No,
to
no,
it.
go for it.
Was before your time, before you came on, and the last time I remember you talking, you were saying that the issue was the electrical tie-in to Fort Weaver, and it was like, why are you passing Kapolei Parkway? And now we're back to the drawings, and now we're gonna get start from the whole scratch again.
No, not from scratch. So our last meeting, that's why we wanted to meet with them. We were able to get an agreement on what exactly it is, and then to get their agreement on what we propose for the electrical conduit. So that's all not being drawn anymore, all good. And what we just need to converse with them a bit more on that. So not going back to the.
Let him talk faster. Mike, you got something?
Yes, thank you. Just wondering what you are doing if you are doing anything about coconut rhino beetles in your area.
Not that I'm aware of, but if there are any issues with that, I can go check on that for you, what we do have. Did you
Okay,
see,
thanks.
I'm sorry, did you see any in like any of them?
Well,
Any
as I
bald
drive
coconut trees?
around the ʻEwa Plain, I see some areas where the trees all look great, and you can go to Ko'olina, it's gorgeous there, and then you drive by Westlock golf course, and you see everything dead, or you go down to Howe Bush, and that's especially depressing lately. I'm just wondering which areas might be doing something different. So if there is anything you guys know about that, I'd be interested in hearing about it next month. Thanks.
Sure. Yep, I'll take the question about that and the R1 water back and come back with an answer.
Thank you, Sonny. Seeing no other questions, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Haseko? Anyone from Haseko?
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, sorry. Keola Fisher with Haseko. Just wanted to provide the update for the ʻEwa Carnival taking place this weekend, Saturday, August 15th and Sunday, August 16th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Waikai Event Lawn. Please allow for extra travel time if you plan on traveling through the area. Paid on-site parking will be available in 3 lots near the Waikai Events Lawn. Parking is $10 per vehicle, and the lots will open from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. To support traffic flow and public safety, special duty officers will be stationed at the intersections of Ke'oni'ula Boulevard and Kapolei Parkway, Ke'oni'ula Boulevard and Kamakana Street, and Ke'oni'ula Boulevard and Kaivavalo Street to assist with traffic control. Waikai and the event promoter are actively monitoring the weather forecast and any potential impacts to the event. Should there be any changes, updates will be communicated through their official website and social media channels. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for the board? Corey, go ahead.
I would like to follow up with another development you have, Royal Kania 2. Could you give me the status of that development?
I can go ahead and, I don't have it right now, but I can go ahead and certainly get that and provide it to you guys next month.
And one main concern, I brought this up with Hiseko before, I've heard this from members that live in Royal Kania. They're deeply concerned with the development, the dirt there. There are signs that say dioxin that, people are concerned about. And so I think that development's going forward, but I want to make sure that the environmental impacts of dioxin is being taken care of. So I'd like to have an update from Hiseko on that issue, please.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for the board? Any questions for the community? My concern is just a storm up and coming, for the community. That
Yes.
Don't cancel it too late. You know what I mean?
I know that they, as soon as we do, we're assessing it day by day. And if there are any updates, they're certainly going to get it to the public through media and their websites and their social media.
Thank you. Mike, you got something?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Seeing no other questions. Thank you, Keola. Thank you very much. DR Horton, Ho'opili. Anyone from Horton, Ho'opili? Okay, seeing none. Okay, moving on to U.S. government officials. U.S. Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Anyone? Okay, U.S. Navy. All right.
Hey, good evening, Chair, and congratulations again, board members and community. I see some new faces, so I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Chief Jose Hayen. I'm the Media Operations SCA at Commander Naval Region Hawaii. Got a couple updates for you this evening. The Molelo, or weekly Molelo, it goes out every Wednesday, is our newsletter. If you'd like to be added to that distro, please let me know. I could take your email down, or you could give us a call, and then we'll be happy to do that. Our monthly ship tours, that's something that we do every Saturday. Gives you an opportunity to interact with our sailors, do a tour from 0900 to 1045 in the morning, that is. A great opportunity there. Our number is 808-473-2890 if you'd like to give us a call to schedule one of those tours. Typically, I communicate about the community white boats, but unfortunately for August 21st, that's completely booked. However, don't be afraid. In the future, we have more upcoming, which we'd be happy to take you on there. That is all I have this evening.
Thank you. Any questions?
Anybody
for the
for
board?
any questions, of course.
Any questions for the board? Any questions for the community? Online?
Actually,
Mike?
Chair, is it okay if I address Mr. Plowman?
Hey, right.
Oh, he had his hand raised anyways.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, well, if you had something already about the magazines project we're all ears. Thanks.
Mr. Plowman, it's good to see you online there. So the construction project was awarded in June. As the contractor gets on board, we will coordinate with the Navy and the contractor to keep the community updated on the statement of work, schedule, and impact. We want to make sure the board receives the most accurate and up-to-date complete information possible. Our goal is to have the SME brief the board, and we appreciate your patience as we work to getting that to you.
Appreciate that. So, yeah, we would really appreciate a brief. It's been since I think it was late 2020 since you guys briefed the neighborhood board. It was actually the first meeting we came back from COVID, and nobody hardly was there. But so it's really going to be impactful to the community, and we'd appreciate comprehensive rundown of it and a timeline if we could reiterate that request. Thank you.
Mr. Plowman, you said late 2020, correct?
It was the first meeting after the COVID break
Okay.
that we had, and it was at Kapolehale. It wasn't when here. It was when the environmental assessment was just in the public comment phase. So I believe that was 2020.
Yes, sir. And thank you for telling me that. That's a detail that I wasn't aware of, but I'll make sure to bring that up to the installation and leadership tomorrow.
David, you got something?
Yeah,
Thanks,
I just
Chief.
want to say
Appreciate
thank
it.
you for coming out in person. This is my third meeting here, so this is the first time I've gotten to see in person.
I
know we-
typically do come in person. The last 2 times I was online.
Okay, Roger.
You treat me nicer in person, so I'm gonna keep coming in person.
And just to follow up on the earlier comment, I think at those 3 meetings we've heard we're going to have a SME follow up, and then the next month it's an SME follow up, and this month it's an SME follow up. So hopefully we can get that sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
And
And sir, and to answer that, there are several entities involved in this project.
Understood. I mean, I think even just a overall brief from somebody that can come in and just speak to it would be helpful.
Yes, sir.
And then I think last month there was some questions raised regarding the homeless encampment on Navy land in
Yes.
West Lock.
I sent that answers over to Chair, and I copied Melissa via email.
Roger that.
Yes, sir.
And then we also had some questions about the LSM project.
I followed up with an email for the open house that was that following week. So I hope that you got that information, and I hope that you attended if you had the opportunity to. But
Okay.
however, if you didn't get the chance and you have a question, I'll be happy to take the question and take it back to leadership immediately.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, moving on to U.S. Army.
Oh, sorry, Navy Closure Task Force online.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I just have hi Chair, hi board members. Just one quick announcement from Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill. We do have an open house on September 17th, focused on the decommissioning of the Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility and the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam drinking water safety. Open house will begin at 5 p.m. and town hall from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the American Veterans Hawaii West Oahu Veterans Center at 5001 Iroquois Avenue in Eva. And we will have our SMEs there as well. And so it is open for the community to come in here and listen and ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Susan,
quick
go ahead.
question, Susan Gorman Chang. I had heard talk that there might be another open house and town hall on the 15th at a military base. Is that still on?
That will be, yes, that will be on base, and it is geared to the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam residents and consumers, yes.
So it'll be on the Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam base itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Questions on community? Online? Seeing none, thank you very much. Moving on to U.S. Army. Nada. I think I got an email. Let me look real quick. Okay. It says, please link article. As a reminder to report concerns related to noise training. I guess the Army's going to be doing a lot of training. Contact U.S. Army Hawaii noise concerns at 808-766-7778 or usarmy.hawaii.com rel@army.mil. Or this period. I don't know. Concerns are responded to during business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. U.S. Army Garrison Public Affairs Office. All right. Okay, moving on to U.S. Representative Ed Case, quarterly report. Anyone from Rep Case? Or Congressman? Nope, seeing none. Mayor Rick Blangiardi, rep. Online.
Yeah. Hi, aloha, everyone. Apologies for not being there in person. Ke Haupu'u Mayor's Rep from the Department of Parks and Recreation. So first, just want to announce, I think you folks are all aware of the severe weather advisory that could impact the state. We ask and urge residents not to wait and to start preparing accordingly. You can sign up for HNL Alert for emergency notifications by visiting hnlalert.gov or texting HNL Alert to 888-777. Residents can find emergency preparedness information at www.honolulu.gov/DEM. The city has been sending out updates publicly twice a day and will continue to do so until the storm passes. Yes, that's it. This month's highlights from Mayor's newsletter, and normally there's a copy there on the table with all the handouts. Just a few things. One, our Hawaii's driver's license and state IDs have a new look and enhanced security features for the first time in 17 years. Our new police chief was sworn in at the end of July. And the pump the brakes, the city is lowering school zone speed limits to improve safety. And DP won an award for energy saving or greener city parks. So again, you can access the newsletter there in person or just Google honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. One more announcement from Mayor's Office. The City Mayor's Office of Climate Change, Sustainability, and Resilience and the Honolulu Youth Commission are implementing the Youth Climate Action Fund, which supports Oahu youth with up to $4,999 to design and implement a climate project. Applications will be accepted or have started being accepted from July 27th through September 7th. To learn more and submit an application, please visit www.resilientoahu.org/YCAF. So follow up from last month's issues that were raised at the neighborhood board. First was the request for a presentation on the Eva Beach Sewer Improvement District project. So mahalo to Director Babcock for being there in person. Next item. Follow up on the Little League team that had come to meeting regarding their permit that had been revoked for Pu'uloa Neighborhood Park. So their permit has been reinstated. Permit's been reinstated starting this month. And players have been provided with access to a usable space while we just continue to monitor neighborhood impacts. Chair Tananis asked about One'ula Beach Park and if there were plans for a backstop there, and we don't have plans for a backstop at One'ula Beach Park at this time. A follow-up from July's meeting, was regarding the exceptional tree recognition, Eva community's first ever exceptional tree. And so Member Rogers requested a small recognition or possibly a plaque. And so DPR's Division of Urban Forestry will be installing a plaque by the end of this month, 2026. And sorry, I can hear an echo. I think that's why I'm a little flustered here. Next was just follow up on CRB treatment from last month's response. And the follow-up questions were whether One'ula, Kapapapuhi, and Pu'uloa Beach Parks could be a request for them to be treated for CRB, given resources provided by UH, and also from Vice Chair Gauls, whether any study or survey had been done to determine which areas or city parks are being prioritized for treatment. And so no formal study or survey was conducted to determine areas that have very little CRB activity and where surrounding area debris is mostly managed. Those have been areas that have been selected. And so right now, that's at Hanauma Bay, our Honolulu, sorry about that. Honolulu Botanical Gardens, our plant collection there, and then the Waikiki Kaka'ako corridor. So that is where treatment is happening because there's very little impacts and because of the debris management in those areas. Regarding the request for One'ula, Kapapapuhi, and Pu'uloa, these are in areas that are already heavily infested by CRB and surrounded by untreated areas that make treatment much less effective. Additionally, our resources and staffing and funding to prevent CRB infestation are limited. So we are not able to treat those areas at this time. Okay, almost done. Next item was brush clearance. So our department did inspect Kapapapuhi Park. There was a request, a concern regarding fire safety there. So the inspection did occur on July 15th, and this park's been added to DPR's priority list for brush clearance. Unfortunately, this year we don't have a line item for brush clearing and for brush clearing this year. So our Parks Division is looking at their budget and reallocating resources to go ahead and work on a contract to continue some brush clearing. And so I don't have a timeline for that, but we are actively working on it. Okay, sorry. Stray dog safety concerns was also raised last month. So District 8's community policing team, Sergeant Fumi Muraoka, contacted DLNR, and they referred him to their forestry division and the Hawaii Community Development Association. So they are currently working with them to address the issue of the stray dogs. And finally, Senator Favela followed up on a promise for traffic calming devices at Kuhina Street and Hanakahi Street. So response from DTS, traffic calming devices for Hanakahi Street are included in the traffic engineering devices at various locations. Phase 4 project. Speed tables will be installed on Hanakahi Street between Hanaloa and Kawiki Streets and is in the final design phase. Project is expected to be advertised for bid by March 2027. Construction is anticipated to start in fall 2027. Traffic calming devices for Kuhina Street are included in the traffic engineering devices at various locations, phase 6 project, which is in the design procurement phase. Speed tables are proposed along Kuhina Street. And that's the end of my report. Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know that the gate near Renton Road, the cattle gate on the West Lock bike path is open again. It was locked for a long time, and all of a sudden it became open. It's open again, and cars are entering as they will. My real question is about Kalailoa parklands and where we are with that. Is anything going? There's a big enforcement out there and moved out a bunch of people from the big campgrounds, but now I see that they've opened up new ways to get in, and they're inside the bush now, so they can't be seen from the road. And so I'm just wondering, are we moved any action? There's no racetrack yet. There's nothing going on there that I see except for new signs that were put up a few months ago that says it's Parks Land. I'm just curious, and is there I know there's a website, but I don't think that's been updated since it was actually installed. So I'm just curious where we are with that.
Sorry, so I'll get a more complete response, but we did finally recently get our contract executed for master planning at Kalailoa. So that is going to be kicking off. And then in terms of SPOs and stuff, we have to balance. We have limited resources. We're conducting SPOs across this whole district, and So the last one that was done, I believe, was in collaboration with Councilmember Tupola and other government officials. But I'm not sure if there's anything coming up for the area. But yeah, I can take that back.
So just to back up so the master plan, that's going to be an environmental impact statement that we'll be able to review and comment on?
It's master planning for all the acreage that the city accepted last year from the Navy. So I'm sure and it'll be years, right, before that probably happens. But there will be engagement with community to figure out what we want to put there. You know, DPR and Director Thielen recognizes that so much growth and development, you know, the population has boomed out here on the west side, but the amenities haven't necessarily kept up with that. And so this, you know, we're seeing this as a big development for an investment for our communities in the future. So it is planning for what's gonna, you know, what we're gonna put there. I'm not, yeah, and like I said, guarantee environmental assessments and all those kinds of things will be part of the process once we have a plan for the area.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for the board? Questions for the community? Mike, go ahead.
I just want to thank Hal for acting immediately to bring a resolution to our 12U Little League Baseball situation. That was awesome. I thank you very much for that. And by the way, Hawaii's 12U Little League team tomorrow plays at 3 p.m. against Southern California. And if they win, they go to the Little League World Series. So anyway, thanks, Cal.
Take care. How?
Yes.
Okay. We had a resident community concern about I'm not swearing now, but flocking cameras. Flock cameras.
Heard.
Okay. Is that the city?
I don't believe so, but I'll definitely add it. Melissa and I will add it to our notes for follow-up.
All right. And then on the CRB, I mean, even though Oniula and the other parks in our area is not on the list, even though they're infested, the reason why I'm saying that it's the infestation, now it's a nest for these CRBs. Either not treat or cut down. You know what I mean? Get rid of them or don't, you know, if they know they're not going to treat it, just get rid of it because it just turns into another problem. Because from the coconut, I heard they go, like we had a presentation from UH, they're going to eat the banana, they're going to go to all the other different palm trees. So we need to stop, cut, and get rid of them properly if possible. And again, thank you for all what you do for us.
Thank you.
Always.
Mahalo, you guys. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to Council Member District 1. Council Member Tupola.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Nojima. I am from Councilmember Tupola's office. I work now, I just started about a month ago. I am working with Kika, who's also online, but I'll be coming to the ʻEwa neighborhood board meetings from now on, except for tonight, but from now on. And I just have one thing that I wanted to share. We are starting the R3 program, which is the Revive, Restore, and Reconnect for the homeless. It started on Monday. In this area, it's at the Kapolei Library from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. where we provide information on how homeless can get housing. Maybe they don't have their ID, maybe they don't have their license, and if they want to work, we do have businesses who are willing to take on those individuals. We also want them to get help, and so we provide that, and we do have community help with the different providers. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays now until the week of November, the week of Thanksgiving. So every Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be at the Kapolei Public Library on the second floor. And what we do is we do outreach prior to that. in the homeless areas, on the beaches, we do have different churches who assist and provide them information and where to come, provide them a little bit of food just for that day, as well as when they see the different providers. If you folks have any questions, if you need more flyers, or if you need any flyers, we'd be happy to provide that to anyone who would like to help volunteer. We'd also appreciate any of those. And I'm open for any question.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Susan, go ahead.
Hi, yes, Susan. Yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing with this program every Tuesday and Wednesday, 5 to 6, to really help these folks, because that's what's needed. I just want an appreciation.
And
Thank
another
you.
mahalo for the work you folks have been doing with Geiger to get that moving forward, with the city and Eva by Gentry. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board?
Thank you.
Seeing none, any questions from the community? Seeing none, any questions online? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on to Council Member District 9, Council Member Toba.
Aloha, Chair, board members, Aaron Michael Hope from the Office of Councilmember Augie Toba. So you guys should all have the council members' written report. There's more on the back table for those who don't have one. Okay, so in our office, we've been fielding a lot of calls recently of for obvious reasons about the impending storm. So the council member just wanted me to encourage everyone, just to be safe this weekend, with the tropical storm watch, then everything that's going to be coming with it. We have been burning up the phone lines with facilities maintenance, just to forward to them all of the complaints that we've been hearing. So as a result, like a lot of the ʻEwa channel, like next to ʻEwa Beach Community Park is clear. And, there's been a lot of things that we've noticed happening, and they're probably tired of hearing from me lately. So thank you, DFM, if you're listening. I also I also wanted to thank Mr. Stewart for bringing the flock camera situation to our attention. This is actually a very interesting, kind of a freaky situation, but I've reached out personally to everybody I could think of, and no one seems to know anything about it. Like DIT, DFM, HPD, HECO, like nobody seems to have given approval for anything. HPD said that it could possibly be part of a DLE program. So I did reach out to them. I haven't heard back from them yet. But everyone is telling me that because it is private property, we need to be very, very, very sure that nobody approved it before we go and take it down. So we're just trying to finish that loop and make sure nobody said yes before we, take any like actual action to take it down. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Question? What does DLE stand for?
The Department of Law Enforcement.
Okay, thank you.
Where exactly on Papipi Street is
So
it?
on Papipi Road, there are 4 cameras. One is by the 7-Eleven.
Okay.
2 are on telephone poles by Kapolei Parkway. They're facing in the opposite directions. And then there's one at the gateway to Oneula Beach Park. I know, weird, right?
The D-flop.
Yeah, I mean, it's all city property. And again, no one seems to have any knowledge of.
So we have 4 piñatas in Eva Beach, everyone. So then we can find out who the owners are.
For the record, that's not what I said.
Just joking.
So
I just want to note the D-Flock map shows Waipahu has cameras, Pearl City has cameras, ʻEwa has cameras.
Yes.
And you said they're on the phone poles, and you've contacted Hawaiian Electric, Hawaiian Telecom. Nobody.
Hawaiian Electric's response was that they needed to check to make sure they weren't part of their first alert or whatever that program is that watches out for wildfires. But they said it doesn't look the case because the hardware is different, and it's not a 360 camera or anything like that. So it's not likely, but they need to check.
You said you checked with DTS as well?
I did. H.2, and no one is saying it's part of their program.
All right, thank you. Continue with your report. Sorry about that.
That was pretty much it. If you have any questions.
Okay, any questions for the board? Any questions for the community? Mike, go ahead.
Sir.
Is it true those things have a lot of copper in them?
I can't speak to that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, see no other questions. Thank you very much. You guys be safe. All right, Board of Water. Yoni.
Hello, everyone. Keone Matos from the Board of Water Supply. I apologize. I didn't bring hard copies today. I'll make sure Melissa gets a copy so it can be available online. For our main break report, there were no main breaks in the ʻEwa Neighborhood Board area in the month of July. For our announcement, we're promoting Imagine a Day Without Water. The Board of Water Supply, in partnership with the Office of State Representative Chris Muraoka and about 25 other city, state, nonprofit, and community organizations, we're inviting the public to attend that Imagine a Day Without Water event. It is going to be held on Saturday, September 26th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The location is Arc of Safety at Waianae Mall. There's going to be interactive exhibits, some educational displays, games and activities for the family, prize giveaways, rain barrel catchment workshop, and some older food that can be purchased. It's a free family-friendly event that highlights the importance of water and the One Water concept, which recognizes that all water is connected and must be managed as one valuable resource. More information is available on our website, boardofwatersupply.com. So feel free to, again, we invite everyone to check out that event. And as many of you talk about, there's some forecasted heavy, severe weather. I'm sorry about that. There's some forecasted severe weather coming up. So we do want to remind everyone, as part of your preparedness kits, make sure that you have a water supply as part of that. HAIMA recommends a gallon of water per person per day to last for 14 days, which is a lot of water. Don't forget for your family members, but also, your pets need water too. You can go out and buy bottled water, but you have tap water now available to you. So if you have any containers, be sure to fill those up and have them ready for your family. So just everyone stay safe and plan ahead for that. And that concludes my report. Be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the board? John, go ahead.
I just got a suggestion. We bought there's a thing that you can buy, a plastic bag basically that you can buy for your bathtub, and you fill it up and the bathtub then holds the huge bag, and that's a bathtub full of water. And you know how normally you fill your bathtub up for a tsunami or whatever, and it all drains down because of your drain works better than you want it to. So it doesn't plug. But this bag holds water, and it's got a little pump that comes with it. I think they sell it at City Mill sells them. Uncle Bob's something bathtub, but I bought one, and we actually used it when we had a something we thought we would need it, and it worked great. It held a lot of water, and we weren't worried about not having water. So, and it was clean. Thank you.
That's a suggestion.
Any other questions for the board? Question from the community? Question online? See none. Thank you very much, Keone.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, Governor Green's rep. Seeing none. Moving on to Hawaii Department of Transportation. Seeing none. Senate District 19. Rochelle Amasao. Seeing none. District 20, Senator Kurt Vivella. Seeing none. Moving on to Senate District 21, Senator Mike Gabbard.
Aloha, board and community members. I'm Melanie June. I'm Senator Gabbard's community liaison. First, Senator Gabbard's August newsletter is available, and I'll be sure to drop that link into the chat. I'd also like to invite everyone to Senator Gabbard's Listen Story community meeting on Saturday, August 29th from 9 to 10 a.m. And that'll be at the Kapolei High School Teachers Lounge. And this month's guest speaker will be Harry Cho, information specialist with HEART. And he'll be providing the latest updates on the skyline, including rail constructions. I'm sorry, my puppy's running around. And it'll be including rail construction and skyline updates and progress for what's coming next for West Oahu travelers. And there's a Zoom option also available for those who cannot attend in person. You can just email our office to RSVP, And as always, please feel free to contact our office if we could be of any assistance. And I hope everybody stays dry this weekend.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Just if you could share this with the senator, this is sort of a problem that deals with both your community and my community as well. I've received complaints about from Kaliloa planes taking off and doing really low loops. Basically, they're doing practicing over the Kunia area coming off from that. Residents have expressed to me that they've reached out to the FAA, but I definitely think there's some sort of violations going on there. So if your office could follow up with the senator to see if there's anything being done on that, I'd appreciate it.
Any other questions for the board? Questions from the community? Online. Hey, Mel, don't take this wrong, okay? Don't take it wrong. I would love to see Tosi's dad for one report, maybe one time. Haven't
I'll
seen him in a
definitely
while.
let him know. Yes,
Let him
sir.
know, come out maybe next month, whatever it is. Maybe come over here, drop off some toffee, whatever it's gonna be.
I agree. That would be better.
Alrighty, but thank you very much for your report.
Have a good
You guys take
night.
care. All right, moving on to Representative District 39, Elijah Perrick. Yeah. Okay, Representative District 40, Representative Reyes Oda. Is she still on? Oh, all right.
Aloha board and community members. I'm Jethro Bumonglog from the Office of Representative Reyes Oda. I have two things to share. First, on July 28th at the West Oahu Ambite Center at Eva Beach, the Hawaii Food Bank wrapped up its last Cow for Keiki distribution for this summer. Since June, our office has volunteered every week to help provide food and local produce to families with keiki. With many students relying on school meals throughout the year, Cow for Keiki made sure they have access to the food during the summer. Mahalo to the Hawaii Food Bank and all the volunteers throughout the summer who came out and helped make these distributions possible. Second, the representative was recently featured in Honolulu Civil Beat about the struggles of school robotics program. Previously, she wrote an article in the midweek West Oahu Voice in April stating that an investment in STEM prepares students for the workforce and future. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. In addition, I want to address a question and comment from the last board meeting. At the last meeting, Chair Tayanis asked the representatives two priorities in Eva Beach. It is food insecurity and schools. The representative has volunteered monthly with Our Lady of Perpetual Help food distribution for 3 years, distributes food with Our Lady every 4 months at the West Lock Elderly Village, and started an after-school food service program at the Eva Beach Boys and Girls Club with the Hawaii Food Bank that now serves 2 times a week. It was the data from last year's Cow for Keiki program that made this her priority. Here are the numbers from this year. Cow for Keiki has approved 754 keiki from 269 households, waitlisted 1,350 keiki from 540 households, and did not approve late applications from 800 keiki from 337 households. That is a total of 2,904 kids from 1,146 homes. She also prioritizes school capacity issues in the complex. The representative was a former teacher at Campo High and did not have a classroom for 2 years due to overcrowding, so she knows the effects of overcrowding in schools firsthand. The rep is also a former math teacher and oftentimes requests and reviews data from the DOE to ensure that she stays on top of what's happening in our area. In the midweek legislative column published on July 15, she discussed the construction of the East Kapolei Elementary School and how it addressed the longstanding overcrowding issues in the Campo Kapolei complex. There was a comment made about the representative's participation or contribution to the funding of the new school, any funding that must be voted on by both sides of the House and Senate, but our office has compiled a timeline highlighting the instances where the representative raised concerns for overcrowding at Eva Beach, and I'll share that list with you after this meeting. The representative is online because she is doing a site visit regarding technologies, business models, and policy considerations shaping battery recycling, critical mineral recovery, grid resilience, and energy storage, and freight electrification. Our high school intern, Joshua Tom, and I are here if there's anything that our office can help with. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Online. Okay, I get one. I'm gonna compile all what you said now. Food insecurity, schools, cocoa for kids, school capacity, overcrowding, and all that. Can our representative work on getting free lunches or food for our overcrowded schools
I'll definitely relay that to her.
for all students?
Yes, I'll definitely relay that to her.
Oh, wait, do you want me to answer while it's still online?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying because being in Eva Beach, we're the #1 for overcrowding, the most kids in school. Why worry about lunches? I mean, literally, like what Corey was talking about. Why make that make it a little bit easier for our students to learn more? I know you're on the same page, Julie, but what can we do to kind of push that along?
So I think before being elected, I came from Nanakuli High and Intermediate School, and the kids there on the coast get free um, breakfast and lunch. But that's because of the Title I status and how many of the kids there are qualified for free and reduced lunch. I have voted every time for free lunches for kids across the state. I think when it comes to that, the thing that comes across is it's really expensive. I think you're sitting next to one of the principals there, and Mr. Greenling can probably tell you that if funding had to get taken from the school to pay for schools, it would be very, very expensive. Whether it came from the school or whether it came from the budget of the DOE. And so a lot of the times, and if the budget came from the state to add more to the department, it would have to come from somewhere else. So a lot of the discussion is that it's not that the idea of free lunches is not a good idea. The issue is going to come that the money is going to come from someplace else. So where would that money for the lunches come from? What department, what program would need to be cut for that? And that's kind of the discussion that always has to happen. It's not that people don't like programs, but there's also, 50 other programs that people like too.
Thank you. Corey, go ahead.
Just to follow up on that, the actual lunches themselves is not the cost. It's that the DOE has come in with very large numbers of what it would take to build out the facilities in order to provide these without actually showing that it's actually needed. So that's why I was asking John earlier. We've expanded the free school lunch now to Alice families. When you take in about 50% of our students are Title I students in Hawaii, and you add Alice, it's going to get to a point for some schools where they're getting close to 100%. And that's why I was asking that question earlier. So one of the things is we're going to see this year how successful that program is. And I think to what you bring up, it'd be really nice to see if those facilities are needed and what would it take to get to that last step. Okay, so something we want to follow through with.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the community board or online? All right. Thank you, Julie. Now you can go 9-9. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Julie. Okay.
No,
moving on.
you would ask me about where I'm at, and about those things here. I'm looking at how to recycle batteries. Those lithium batteries and the batteries from cars and all of those electric EV batteries and things like that. That's what I'm over here looking at, because we need to look at not being able to throw more things in the dump. So that's what I'm doing over here. But we can pick that up at another board meeting.
All right. Thanks, Rep. Oda. Be safe up there. Okay, moving on to Representative District 41, Representative David Alcos. Okay, moving on to Representative District 42, Representative Diamond Garcia.
Aloha Chair, aloha Board, community. Thanks for being here this evening. A few updates. I haven't been here in a few months. Since then, we've held a few town hall meetings. One in conjunction with Councilmember Tupola and Senator Gabbard regarding the transfer of the villages of Kapolei. Not really in this board district, but that was one town hall meeting held, a very important one. Long time coming. Many of the homes built back in the 1990s were supposed to be transferred over to the city jurisdiction. Never happened, but after all these decades, it's finally happening this year. So that's an update. We also had a town hall meeting in collaboration with Senator Rochelle Lamosao on disaster preparedness. Fitting for what's coming this weekend, and as was mentioned earlier by a few speakers, I do want to reiterate, please, if you haven't already, to text 888-777 for HNL alerts. You will definitely get up-to-date text messages on everything occurring for this county and I believe across the state as well. Recently, $500,000 in capital improvement project funding was released for the East Kapolei TOD environmental impact study regarding the land parcels adjacent to the Keone rail station next to UH West Oahu. There is plans to develop that. There's some mixed use development plans for some commercial and even some film studio proposals as well. So we'll continue those conversations. And then lastly, we're planning a town hall meeting in the beginning of October regarding the health of West Oahu. West Oahu has some of the highest health disparities across the state, especially in our homestead community. So we're working in conjunction and a strong collaboration with the federal U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for a town hall meeting that will benefit our West Oahu community first week of October. So once we get that date and info locked in, we'll definitely share with the board. And that's it. Any questions?
John, go ahead.
So you just talked about Kapolei villages. So is that the roads and the sidewalks?
Yes.
So it's the infrastructure.
It's a public land transfer. So the roads, sidewalks, and the medians and all of that stuff. So
Crazy
right
good.
now, the state HHFDC is doing all the tree trimming and all the grass cutting. It shouldn't be their job. Their duty and mission is to build housing, but because of the lack of transfer, they've been stuck doing it and paying for all these years. So now, once the transfer occurs, which should be in a matter of a month or two, then the city will then take over the landscaping.
Great.
Yeah.
If I just one thought, if you look at
Sure.
Kapolei Parkway, because that's not our district, but
Yeah.
the bike lane ends right like in front of or begins right in front of the fire station, and it would be great if those bike lanes on both sides of Kapolei Parkway went all the way to the corner of Kualakai. That way, because I ride that corridor all the time and I'm in the middle of the lane and I know the cars that want to go 30, 35,
Yeah.
they don't like me. So
I'll talk to DOT about that. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Any questions online? I just want to say, hey, thanks, Rep. You show up, you show up for us, you're here, you sing for the late nights, and thank you for coming, man. Take care. All right, moving on to board business, approval of regular board meeting minutes. That was Thursday, July 9th, 2026. Any amendments, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, okay, minutes can pass. Approved. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Any committee reports for parks? Okay, none. Education? None. Transportation?
Well, the last report we got from Department of Transportation said that they were working on a shared use path from Pu'uloa Beach Park to I forgot the name of the street, but it was going to be on the Mackay side. That we didn't want it on the Mackay side, the Transportation Committee, and we had already worked with them, but we got that corrected. It's going to be on the Mauka side, so it would be where the Tsunami Warning Center is, and that would allow still for a lot of the parking that's going on in that area. So that's the only thing. And Ampo, I'll just bring that up some here. We didn't have a meeting last month, so I got nothing to report for Ampo.
All right, thank you. Moving on to public safety, community outreach, homeless. Any report? Seeing none. Economic development.
No report.
Climate change. Hawaiian affairs. Military affairs.
Not specifically military, but an update on the Hawaii airspace modernization project, for which we had an input via resolution. They categorized all the stuff, the public comments and comments from different entities, and they categorized it, but they haven't released it in a hard copy. What they did do was have a solution kickoff meeting on August 4th, the video of which they say there's a link to. I emailed them because there was no video link on there, and they got back to me and said that that there will be a link to the video of that meeting as soon as it's approved. So if that comes to fruition, we'll forward it to the board. They can have a look at that, whoever might be interested in it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay, any other announcements? Other than that, everybody stay safe. Be safe about, you know, the up and coming storm. Get all you guys emergency equipment and stuff out. Always be better to be prepared than not prepared. Okay, next regular board meeting will be scheduled for Thursday, September 10th. At 6:30 again. This is the first meeting we had since dawn of time was always at 7 p.m. Now it's at 6:30. So next month will be at 6:30. Virtually via WebEx, in person in Eva Beach Public Library right here. Regular board meetings are broadcast every first Sunday at 6 p.m. and every second and fourth Friday at 10 a.m. on Olelo Digital 49. And meetings adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming. Drive home safe.
Congratulations.